Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jason here. Today I'm going to be going over some of Biden's press speech today over his economic plans. If you could, make sure you hit the like button, also hit the sub button. That way you guys can keep up with all the updates. And let's get into it. The first thing I want to go over is he was talking about some of the new children's tax credits for families. Right now, as you guys know, you get a $2,000 tax credit for kids as the child tax credit. That plan should be going up to $3,000 for kids 6 to 17 and $3,600 for kids newborns up to 5 years old, which is a big welcome change to anybody who has a family at all. There is also talks between Democrats right now of trying to pass a bill that way you would just get a straight $300 per month for children infant to 5 years old, and a $250 check, or like a direct deposit into your account for kids 6 to 17 years old. Either way, I feel like this will be a welcome change. If you did your taxes every year, obviously getting a bigger tax credit would be a great thing. There's also lots of people out there, Social Security and things like that people don't file taxes really for, and they wouldn't be getting that money. Obviously, if it was just a straight check or a deposit into your bank account, this would be a great idea to help those individuals in need. I don't know. They didn't say anything about cutoffs. I would obviously imagine it would probably be that $250,000 range. Obviously, if you live in parts of California, New York, places like that, making $150,000 a year isn't considered a ton of money. I mean, it's a good amount of money, obviously. But that right there really doesn't go as long as, it's probably more like making 50, 60,000 in some more of the rural areas, like out here in the middle of Tennessee and in the pasture country, as they say. Obviously, if you live in Nashville, prices are a lot higher. But if you go, a couple hours out of Nashville, prices are a lot lower there. And I feel like this would be a welcome change to have this tax credit boost. I'm sure we will see this in the bill as well. So be looking forward to that. Hopefully that does get hopefully that is part of the bill and it does get passed. Also, as you guys know, the United States actually has one of the higher child poverty rates in the world, especially for an industrial country. So some economic advisors are saying this would take away about 50% of the childhood poverty rates, which would be a great welcome change as well. Next, I want to go over the stimulus payments. I know some of you guys, I know a lot of people obviously are worrying about that. Right now, the plan is to introduce $1,400 checks to the American people, which would be obviously $1,400 plus the $600 equals $2,000. But there is a big push from a lot of Democrats to get that raised to the $2,000 checks. That would equal obviously the $600 plus the $2,000 would be another $2,000 on top of that, which would be great. And I obviously support that. I feel like the more money we give out to people, the more help we can get people. And right now, everybody needs help, I feel like, for the most part. Obviously, there is, certain aspects of the United States and certain people that don't really need help. They profited off of this, especially in terms of, people that have large amounts of money in stocks and things like that. But overall, I feel like $2,000 is needed, and I hope the Democrats push this even further and get that $2,000 stimulus check passed. Next, I know a lot of people had a question over the student loans. It looks like, as of right now, the $10,000 student loan forgiveness is going to be pushed into the infrastructure bill, which is the next bill coming after this bill. Hopefully, that does get introduced into that bill, because right now, as it stands, the $10,000 reduction is not going to be put into this bill. Reasons being, obviously, they're already having troubles getting any kind of Republican sign-on for this bill already. There's a lot of pushback from Republicans. And without Republicans, they would have to do a recon bill. And you only get 9 recon bills in a 2-year period. Obviously, if they can get to 61 votes and do a recon bill, that'd be the better option for Democrats. That way they don't have to do that. But into the next segment, obviously, the $15 minimum wage, I feel like, is definitely going to push a lot of Republicans away, because a lot of Republicans do not want any kind of raise to the federal minimum wage, which, again, like I said, I am a very independent, but I do think that the federal minimum wage definitely needs to be upped, and because people need help, and it hasn't been raised in a long time, and $7.25 is just crazy low, and that's about as far as I'll get into it. Also, Biden has proposed a raise to the to the premium health care tax credit. If you guys don't know what that is, obviously it gives a tax credit to families with kids and things like that. Obviously, if you're not a family, you can also get a tax credit as well. It's just not as big. But this right here for a family would raise that up to $8,000 a year tax credit, which is a huge boost to that. And I'm sure people out there paying, high, healthcare premiums, that would be a welcome change to have that $8,000 tax credit every year. In terms of it's a refundable tax credit too as well. And a refundable tax credit means pretty much say you only owe the IRS $4,000. That means you would get, if you add it on to $8,000, that means you would get a $4,000 check back from the IRS. A refundable tax credit pretty much means if you go into out of the negative, the IRS will pay you that lump sum of that refundable tax credit. Biden's plan also looks to add 5 million new manufacturing jobs through the infrastructure bill. Biden is pushing to make a push to adopt more clean energy processes and grow the economy through green energy, which should be a good thing, especially for people that are invested in the green energy stocks and things like that. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was a betting man, I'd be putting money into some green energy stocks as well. You can obviously do your own research on those things. I may do a video on some green energy stocks that should probably do well under Biden's plan coming up. As you guys know, I do some stock videos as well. If you guys are interested in those things, like I said, make sure you guys hit the sub button and you guys will be notified when I post those type of videos. Biden is also looking to expand the workers' protection rights, making it easier for workers to join unions, which obviously unions help workers get better pay and more rights in general. Also, on the front of EIDL grants, Biden did mention that there would be maybe some new grants for hard-hit businesses. I don't know if that's going to be the EIDL grants. I don't know if he's talking about that or if he's talking about a new grant. So there could be some talks of new grants after this new bill gets passed. So hopefully there'll be more grants for businesses to get off the waiting lines right now. If you guys are in the waiting line for the EIDL grant, you would know, obviously, it's been, a little over a month since the EIDL grants got passed, and we still have no word in terms of like when they're going to get started on those. Obviously, they did say that the low income areas would be started first, and it's looking to be like another week or two before that even starts. And then for anybody else that's not in low income area, it's looking to be maybe even months out before they get any help through the EIDL grants. Hopefully, these new grants that he's talking about isn't the EIDL grants. It's more grants for people to take advantage of and get back on their feet. Also, the one last thing I want to talk about is PPP. If you guys haven't looked into PPP, make sure you guys do that. It's free. It's pretty much grant money. I know it's called a PPP loan, but it's pretty much a PPP grant if you're using the money the right way. Like I said, you can use it on your payroll, all kinds of stuff, rent, mortgage, lights, water, whatever, things like that for your businesses. So if you guys haven't looked into the PPP, it's very easy to apply for forgiveness. Like I said, if you're a self-employed or sole provider or anything like that, you can get those things all written off super fast and easy. And if you have employees, you can get it written off just as fast and easy. Just like I said, just by turning in your 1099s, anything like that, it's going to be easy to get that stuff written off. So I also have a video on how to apply for the PPP on the channel as well. If you can go back and look at that and watch that, it's super simple. I go through the whole process, teach you guys how to do that. Again, like I said, if you guys haven't, quick thumbs up on the video. Make sure you guys hit the sub button as well, and I'll see you guys on the next video.